Hi, so today I'll be doing a walkthrough on how to make the sleeves on the Liana cardigan. So here you can see one sleeve that's already completed and another one that's just starting out. So I zoomed in so you can see the sleeves better. So as you probably already know from the pattern, we'll be working in short rows for the first section up until around here. So what that means is that instead of working in rounds along the entire armhole, like your usual sleeves, you will be working in rows first. So if you can see here, the first row is stopped around here, and on every subsequent row, we will be working in creases along the edges. So one at the start of the row and another on the reverse side of the cardigan. So we will keep working in creases in every row until we reach the underarm. Then we start working in rounds for the remainder of the sleeves. So we will also be working the creases along the underarm edge. So it tapers towards the wrist here. So over here we have the second sleeve which I have just started. So I've already worked the single crochet row. If I open up the sleeves, you can see the start of the round here, which is on the top of the shoulder. I've already removed the stitch marker, and below here, you can see both stitch markers A, one before and one right after the underarm stitches. Then over here, we have markers B1 and B2. So now I've picked up my work. So with the wrong side facing me, I'll slip stitch from the top of shoulder to stitch marker B1 over here. Okay, so I do my first slip stitch, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll speed through this part. It's basically all slip stitches. So we work one last slip stitch before the stitch marker, and then the next stitch we work into the stitch with the stitch marker, and then we work 2 more slip stitches, 1 and 2. Then after that we will turn our work. If you can see here, you can see the slip stitches, which are these V's on the inside edge. But instead of working into those, we will work into the stitches from the single crochet row. So the first stitch will be worked into the stitch with stitch marker over here. So we will work double crochet. So before we move on, since we will need to be able to tell which is the first stitch unworked on the single crochet row on this side, I'll just move the stitch marker a bit. So I'll move it to the first single crochet unworked on this side. So if you can see, this is the stitch we worked the last slip stitch into just now. So we will place a stitch marker right beside it. Okay, so now we go back to working on the first short row. So we will just keep working across until we reach stitch marker B2. So basically we are going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch. So again, I'll just speed through this part. Just another note that for this row only, we don't have to worry about working in chart. We will start that only from the next row onwards. Okay, so we are reaching the end of the row. And 1 double crochet before the stitch marker, 1 double crochet into the stitch with stitch marker. Then I'll remove stitch marker B2. Looking at the single crochet row, I'll skip 1 stitch, then slip stitch 3. 1, 2, and 1 last one. So place the stitch marker on the next single crochet. So it's the same, this stitch marker will mark the first single crochet that's unworked on this side. Okay, so I've turned my work and we will skip the 3 slip stitches we did at the end of row 2, then we'll work 2 double crochet into the first stitch. Then for the rest of the row, we'll be working in chart. So to figure out which stitch we start with, we need to find the middle 2 stitches by counting stitches. So for me, I had 40 stitches in row 1, so the middle is 40 divided 2, which are stitch 20 and 21, which are these two over here. So for the chart to be centered across the entire sleeve, these 2 stitches will be stitches 8 and 9 of the chart. So from here, we count backwards to where our row starts. And for me, I start with stitch 11 of the chart, so it's double crochet, and then double crochet for the next 5 stitches. Then 2 back post double crochet. Okay, then just go on in chart until there is 1 stitch left. Okay, so in the last stitch, we'll work 2 double crochet. And this marker marks the last unworked single crochet, so we will skip this one and then slip stitch 3, 2, and last one. So now we are done with row 3, and the rest of the rows are basically the same, which is 2 double crochet in the first stitch, work across in chart, then 2 double crochet in the last stitch. Then on the single crochet row, skip 1, slip stitch 3, and we'll go back and forth until one of the stitch marker is worked into stitch marker A. It doesn't matter which one first, and I'll just see you again when I'm there. So I'm at the end of this row, and I'll work 2 double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, then on the single crochet row, skip 1, slip stitch 3. So the last slip stitch is done into the stitch with stitch marker, which means the next row will be my very last short row. So as usual, 2 double crochet into the first stitch, then work across in chart. Okay, so fast forward again. So now I'm done with this row. So I just slip stitch into stitch marker A. So now the short rows are done and they look like this. Yeah. So you can see like sort of a sleeve cap situation going on. And then the next row will be worked in rounds. So first we will slip stitch to the center of the underarm. So for me, I have 8 underarm stitches, divide 2, so I'll slip stitch 4, 2, okay, third slip stitch, and the last one. So now we're at the center of the underarm, then I will turn and chain 2. So just like when we first started, we won't be working into the slip stitches, we will work into the single crochet row. So double crochet in every stitch, and then for the last underarm stitch, I will work a double crochet 2 stitches together with the stitch with stitch marker. So what this does is to help to prevent a gap at the underarm. So for the rest of the round, we will work across in chart until we are back at the underarm stitches. So again, I'll just fast forward this part as well. And now we are at the last few stitches of the round. Okay, so after this stitch, we are left with the underarm stitches. So for the first underarm stitch, we will work double crochet 2 together with the stitch with stitch marker and the first stitch of the underarm. Okay, then we will work 1 double crochet in each of the remaining underarm stitches, and then when that's done, we slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. So with this, we've come to the end of this part. So for the rest of the sleeves, we'll continue working in rounds, following the chart and turning at the end of each round. So if you're working the creases, they'll be worked at the center of the underarm over here. And that's it for this video. So hope you enjoy the rest of the pattern.